Hey, this is Jersey. You're listening to the Garden State.
You're listening to The Garden State, the only New Jersey podcast that gives you all the news you need to hear this week. My name is Josh Sobo.
My name is Josh Chomik.
And I'm Jimmy Parks.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for our last episode of 2023.
It's the new year almost.
Yeah.
Back to the normal music.
Oh,
No more Christmas.
There's no Christmas music on the intro?
No, the magical Christmas joy is gone.
Could
boys.
you play Auld Lang Syne?
What?
Auld Lang Syne.
You want me to play that instead?
Do you know that song?
No, not off the top of my
Really?
head.
That's like a New Year's... That's like
Staple.
That is like the New Year's Eve song.
Is that like, as we go
No.
on, we'll remember.
That's like a middle school graduation song you're thinking of.
That's like really embarrassing that you
Yeah.
All
the
the
song.
fun times.
Ready? Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful year here in the Garden State. And as we reflect on the year, all I can say is there's a lot of places you could be, 50 states, but there's none I'd rather be in than New Jersey.
Oh,
Thank
beautiful.
you. Have a happy new year. Let's close out the episode. Do you not know that song?
I mean, like, that sounds like a million other songs. Like, I've probably heard it before. That sounds like that. That sounds like a patriotic song. Which that
It
one
does.
sounds like.
Grand Old Flag.
You're singing Auld Lang Syne. May all acquaintance be forgot.
Yeah, isn't that the name of the song you just said?
Yeah, you said it sounds like another song, but you were just singing the harmony to Auld Lang Syne.
No, but it sounds like a patriotic song. You know what I'm
It
talking
sounds
about,
like
Jim.
Grand Old Flag.
Yeah, it's Grand Old Flag. Same chords. Same chord progression, right?
I don't know. Well, to me, that is the only New Year's Eve song that's ever existed.
But why is it a New Year's Eve song? Like, who's played it on New Year's before?
Am
I uncultured here?
Every time the ball dropped on New Year's Eve, especially when I think his name was Dick Clark,
Yeah, Dick Clark.
they'd play Auld Lang Syne,
I never really watched that
and
stuff.
then everybody would kiss on TV. You never watched the ball drop,
I've watched the ball drop, but I never listened to, like, I thought it's, like, all party music and
but
stuff
it's also
in
a
the
song
background.
about like I think it's a song like a let me see Auld Lang Syne.
Jimmy, you knew what that song was?
Yeah. That's like a pretty famous song.
Incredible.
So Time Magazine says, oh well, of course they're
Paywall.
gonna paywall me, but yeah, it definitely is connected to New Year's Eve, and that's the only New Year's Eve song I can think of. Besides, what are you doing New Year's Eve?
I always think of, nah, never mind. I don't know. I don't know what a New Year's song.
like a Lil Jon song.
I was thinking New York, but that doesn't make sense for New Year's.
All right, well, guys, it's our last episode of the year, as I just said. It's sad to be here. I almost said it's fad to be here, but that's not a word.
Fat to be here.
I can't believe the year is over.
Me neither.
It
This
feels
year's
like
flown
flew
by.
by. It really flew.
What
by.
a year. What a year.
What was January? What was our January? What were we doing in January?
I think we were in Chumk's apartment at that point, recording.
Probably, yeah.
Maybe.
We definitely were in
You
February.
know, it feels like yesterday, but at the same time, it feels like 5 years ago. Like, I don't
Yeah.
remember January at all.
That's a good point. So I wanted to start the episode off by recapping our year here at the
Yeah.
Garden State. And I wanted to ask you guys, what is your favorite moment of the podcast? Generally, something we did this last year, for 2023.
I think I have three. Do I have to just pick one?
Yeah, pick one.
Oh,
Your top one.
No, you can do a few. I think it's
No. But I want if he's going to share all of them, I want in order of best to like last. You have to pick your favorite.
okay. Number one would be something that just happened on the episode. It was just a funny sequence of events. I don't know if you guys remember this. I was going through my videos on my phone yesterday and I found a screen recording of this because I was cracking up so much. Do you remember when we called the Guitar Center?
wait. I
Yes.
vaguely wait. Why do we called the Guitar Center?
Because I forget if I kept getting calls from Guitar Center or you got a call from Guitar Center.
Yeah.
But you called this guy who kept like calling us.
That's right.
And it was just like the funniest thing ever.
I called about an axe.
Yeah, I have the recording right
Can you
here.
play a little piece of it so I
Of
can
course.
refresh our memories?
Yeah,
I completely forgot about this. When was this?
this is February.
We will return your call during our normal business hours.
Hey, Quentin, this is Rip. We met at that show last week. I drove the 87 Firebird. I'm calling today because I'm looking for a specific axe. I want to...
It's the worst prank call
It's just some
ever.
chuckles of laughing in the
I'm
background.
sorry. My allergies are terrible this time of year. I'm looking for a 1986 Ibanez 59 in turquoise green. It's a 7-string. I need that deep bass for a band I'm working on.
You
with
never
some
got
of
that
my
call back,
pals.
did you?
I don't know why.
Wait, so that was
That was February?
That was February.
Wait, so the
Wow.
context there was that was a guy from Guitar Center that kept spamming,
Yeah.
but not even Guitar Center in New Jersey.
No. He was
Yeah, it's
from-
probably some rep from like the middle of the country.
Yeah, it was from somewhere in the middle of the country.
He never
but-
he never called me back.
Never called back, but I don't know why. But I was just, in the moment, that was so funny.
Rip.
And then when I found that video yesterday, I was cracking up. I guess honorable mention is when on the episode you found out that June was about to be born. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is my favorite moment of the year.
Okay.
It has to be, is when we were in Josh's
You're right,
living room.
you got a call, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't want us to all have the same favorite moment because I figured that would be one of the bigger ones we'd remember. But
I forgot about that.
when I was in your living room in March, on March 9th, and I got a phone call from my wife that she was going into labor.
That's crazy.
Middle
in the
of the
middle
pod.
of the episode.
We should paste little clips in. I don't know if that was even in the podcast, was it?
I left it in, of course, for the clickbait.
Wow. Good memories. So that would be probably number one. I mean, there's other moments, but Josh, I want to hear what your number one moment was.
I have a bunch, but one was going on News 12 New Jersey with you guys,
That was cool.
which like we were on the news talking
When
about
was
the
that?
podcast.
Oh, when
It had
was
to have
that?
been in the spring.
I want to say like May, June,
Let me see. I'll tell you.
somewhere around there.
Like I just remember walking into News 12 being like, we don't belong here. Like, why are we on the news talking about like
The
what we do?
news.
Like it's so insane how like we were on like the New Jersey News.
Yeah.
Like one of the biggest news stations in Jersey, which is crazy.
It was, you ready for this? June 21st.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. Because I was just getting back from tour. We were talking about that.
June 21st.
And then
Polar Plunge. Another gr-
I was gonna say Polar Plunge might be actually my first because hanging with everyone at the Polar Plunge was so much fun. Like it was so cold out. It was like there's some flurries. It was so beautiful. It was a really really fun time with everyone. That's why I can't wait to do it again. And of course, going on 1015 twice.
Yes.
We're on the radio.
Oh, my
like,
goodness.
We did so many like crazy big things this year. Like just randomly, they just fell on our laps. Like we didn't even try getting on the news or getting on the radio. These people just came to us and like I've listened to the radio my entire life. So being able to be on the radio was so insane.
Yeah.
And that
That's
was
pretty
an
crazy if you think
amazing-
about it. Like,
amazing
that's-
opportunity.
That's really crazy. We did have a crazy year. I didn't think about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a little selfish. I just thought about my daughter. But
Fair.
there have been a lot of cool things that have happened. And I'm trying to think of like January, February of this year.
Yeah.
I mean, getting this studio, that'd be another thing I'd say. That happened in
True.
like July. We got a studio space. So 2023 has been a good year for the podcast.
Yeah,
I looked at the
thinking about it,
numbers.
we did a lot.
Well, I sent you the numbers the other day. A year ago, our Instagram had 20,000 people following it. And
Yeah.
today, as I sit here, we have 130,000 people. So it's
crazy.
Yeah.
It's been a record-breaking year for us for sure. Where things have been, there's been a lot of growth, and
Thank you to
I think-
everyone. Thank you to everyone.
2024 is about to be even crazier.
To the moon.
To the moon. So I'm really excited for the new year. I'm sad Christmas is over, and I have to hold these two things in tension every year. I feel like there's a level of sadness because I love Christmas so much. My wife makes fun of me because I just am a Christmas lover.
I feel like there's so many people who are even crazier about Christmas than you. Like you love
think?
Christmas, but like think about the people who just cover their houses in the lights and do all like
True.
They're constantly doing something on Christmas. I feel like you're pretty normal.
Well, and then you go from Christmas into this kind of weird transition into a brand new year.
Well, look, Memorial Day is right around the corner at this point.
And so my one aunt loves the Jersey Shore more than anyone I've ever met in my life. And Christmas morning, she posted on her Instagram, "Merry Christmas," and then her next slide was 22 Mondays to Memorial Day.
That's it.
And I was like, "Let's go!" I mean, like after
Only 22 Mondays till Memorial Day.
I said to Shelby the other day, I said, once Christmas is over, we're in a new year. You got to get through January, February.
yeah.
Those are like the dark months. You got to kind of. I mean, unless we get a nice snowstorm in there.
We
which
need a snowstorm, yeah.
We got a lot of rain last
So
night.
much rain.
But if a snowstorm comes through, then it kind of makes it a bit more fun. But January, February are just abysmal. You're just kind of lost. You feel soulless.
Well, you got to take it slow, boys. You know, every single day.
Okay.
Because you don't want it to be Memorial Day like this.
No, but I will say Memorial Day is top 5 favorite holidays for me.
Of course, but like I want to enjoy the 6 months leading up to it. Like I don't want it to fly by. Like I'm going to take every single day of January and February, as cold as it may be, and try to enjoy it. And hopefully we get some snow in there. It can't be cold without snow. That stinks.
That's the worst.
I'm trying to look at January 2022 at my photos to see what I have. I mean, we had a baby shower for my wife. Oh, she flipped our baby. Did I ever tell you guys this story?
No, I don't
Did I ever
think
tell
so.
you the time my wife flipped our baby?
No.
This is the last thing I'll say, because this is personally probably my highlight of my year. Our daughter was breached. Do you know what that means?
No.
Breached is when babies are supposed to deliver with their head down, but her feet were down. So she was like in standing position, which was really stressful because my wife wanted to deliver her. She didn't want to have to get a C-section. And if the baby's upside down, if the baby's in the wrong position, at a certain point, they just need to, for the safety of the baby, do what they got to do. So there's all these things you can do, stretches and stuff to try to flip the baby. There's literally a thing online called spinning babies where you do all these stretches. Nothing worked. Eventually, I read somewhere online that if you go in a pool, you can flip the baby. And we went to the YMCA. She did a handstand. The baby flipped.
Really?
That was in January?
That was in January, yeah.
I thought it was closer to the birth.
Well, it was 36. She was 35, 36 weeks, which is when you have to.
When was
we
June
tried
born?
everything. She was born March 10th. Sorry, I was thinking. Well, I was doing the math.
I put him on the spot.
No, but I was doing the math in my head. Well, March 11th, so she's the day before me. But I was doing the math in my
Easy.
head that's more like 8 weeks. So that doesn't make sense. Must have been late January.
It was definitely late January because I remember it was closer to like
Well,
March.
she had her
you were
36-week
texting
appointment
me.
coming up. But all I remember is, if you have a baby that's breached, maybe go swim in a pool. I don't know. All right. So, guys, this last year was amazing. Before we could do anything else, what is your number one goal for the Garden State for next year? What's one thing you'd like to see happen?
Well, like we did a lot last year, like talking about all this, which means we have to top it.
Yeah.
And that's a lot to top. Like getting on the news, 101.5.
Getting a studio. I think that was a big one, right?
Yeah, like there's so many things we have to top now.
It could all fall apart.
Yeah, it really could if people stop listening to us, which I don't, it could happen. It's not far out.
My biggest goal is to host a 5K.
Oh.
Yeah, Josh has been talking about hosting a 5K since the beginning. Oh, your biggest goal this year is you're going to do the New York City Marathon, right?
Well, on a personal level. Yeah, I'd like to run the New York City Marathon. I have a list of goals. I'm really trying to set goals. I went through a period of life where I was like, resolutions are dumb, and I just wouldn't write anything. And this year I wrote a bunch of stuff, personally and professionally.
Let's go.
So for the Garden State, do you want me to read you goals for the Garden State?
Yes, here.
Yeah.
Or is this peering too much behind the curtain for the listeners?
I'll cut it if it's too much.
All right, let's see.
I'll bleep you
Let's see,
out.
Let's see. Where is it? 2024 goals. All right. We're going to have 300,000 followers on Instagram this time next year.
Easy.
Okay.
130 right now, so that's 170 growth.
Yep.
I think we could smash that. The Garden State site launch
Yes.
with 1 million page impressions.
Okay.
Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, I don't think there's a problem with that.
Yeah, we have a very exciting announcement coming up regarding a website, and then 10 diner interviews.
For profiles?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So
New series coming, new series alert.
Yeah, some of those things the listeners won't know what we're talking about, but there's we have some big plans. Oh, have you heard that? Have you heard that TikTok sound? I have plans. Have you heard that?
Nah.
No.
I'm telling you now. I have plans that I cannot share with you right now because the haters will sabotage me. I have plans that I cannot share with you right now because the haters will
You
sabotage
never seen this?
This is amazing.
People put it over like
That's
the dumbest.
basically what you
They'll
just
put it over
said.
like the dumbest thing. Like they'll find like a 80-year-old car with it and put a huge engine block in it. And the sound is I have plans.
That's what you sounded just like when talking about your plans for the Garden State. I got plans.
The haters will sabotage us. No, but 2023 is the year, guys.
Yeah.
2024 is the
Oh
year.
my gosh.
All right.
I don't know what year it
Do you
is.
have anything else you guys want to say about this year or next year before we move?
No, I'm good.
Josh?
I hope as long as we have good health and we're alive, all is well.
Yeah, I could agree with that. But we got to stop eating McDonald's if that's going to be the case.
You eat McDonald's. You just I got you a McDonald's sandwich, bro. I'm just drinking the coffee.
Okay.
I don't eat that garbage.
And I'm not eating McDonald's
Speak
at
for
all.
yourself.
I'm back on my athletic greens grind, guys. So
Eating McDonald's.
My health is about to be
little
through the roof.
McMuffin with a hash brown,
Yeah,
and you go to your athletic greens and you get home.
It offsets the McDonald's.
Jimmy, I almost got you an orange juice this morning because I'm always like,
what-
I wish you liked coffee so I could bring you a coffee.
That would have been so nice of you.
Next time.
All right, guys, what do you say we dip our toes in the mailbag? Just see how it feels.
People have been calling into the mailbag. We have to answer some of these, so let's dig right into it, baby.
Josh, what's the number that people can call if they'd like to call into the mailbag and talk to us, leave us a voicemail, or just give us a tip about New Jersey?
Yeah, Josh, the number is
908 67 99 99 3.
Hey guys, this is Andrew from Marlboro. Just reaching out about your recent pig story that you had when it came to actually owning a pig as a pet. I actually had a buddy who had a pig as a pet. He bought it as a piglet from somewhere in like North Jersey from like a farm, and he made a homemade pen out of like shingles and all these different random materials from Home Depot. And the neighbors, and he lives in like a nice neighborhood, and the neighbors had seen it and heard it squealing one day, and they wound up calling, I guess, the town or the police or whatever it is, and they sent him a letter in the mail saying he had to get rid of it by X date or do X with it, or else he'd get like a summons or something like that. So just an interesting, thing with pets. And my take to you is, I don't know, what would you do in this situation? Would you get rid of it? Would you relocate it? In this case, he moved it to a farm nearby that our friend owns, and now it's like a huge 300-pound pig. But what would you do? Curious. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I mean that's a predicament to be found in. To have a pet pig.
I think the idea of having a pet pig is amazing, but if I did have a neighbor who had a giant pig just squealing and screaming nonstop, like in a neighborhood where our houses are just piled on top of each other, I think that's a problem.
I agree.
You got to have some space.
You need at least an acre.
Well, I was just reading. I was like, is it illegal to have a pig in New Jersey? And it says if your town's zoning laws allow pet pigs, you typically have to obtain a permit and register them as you would with a cat or dog.
Wow.
Here's my thing.
I love pigs. I'm for the pigs.
I love pigs. Love bacon. Big supporter of both the pig and the product.
Okay.
Pigs, I will say,
They're cute.
they're the only animal, one of the few animals that we don't call the noise they make a bark or a meow.
It's a squeal.
It's a squeal. They squeal. Okay, and squeal is probably the most disgusting word for a sound. Squeal is what you say in like a horror movie. There's a squeal coming from that house.
Well, when they're baby pigs, it's a cute little squeal, but then they're giant pigs, it's kind of like an ugly squeal.
Yeah, I guess. I like pigs though. I do. I will say a pig.
I'm for the pigs.
I'm for the pigs as well. I wouldn't mind having a little pig, but if I guess he asked us what we would do in that situation. I mean, if they're calling and telling you, there's not a lot you can do unless you're going to move.
Like he said, if they're calling the town on me, if I had a pig,
Yeah,
dude, I would not back down.
you'd fight.
I'll fight. Yeah, I'd want my pet pig
You know what you could do is you could go on the town Facebook page, which I've been doing a lot of lately.
and complain.
I've been going on my town's Facebook page.
Do you complain a lot on there?
Oh, am I like a what?
A Karen just
I know
complaining
that's
on
what
there?
you're gonna say. No, I
could see you doing
I
that.
prompt discussion. Let's just say. I got plans that I can.
Didn't you say like you posted something once and someone was like, "Good job on the Garden State"?
Yeah, there's
Oh,
just
I forgot about
I asked on the town page where if there's any venues that I could host my daughter's first birthday at.
Yeah.
And some lady was like, "Yeah, you could use the VFW hall in this local town." And by the way, love the podcast. And I was like, "Oh gosh."
Yeah, you gotta have like
They're
a separate
everywhere.
Facebook page, like go undercover.
I might change my name on Facebook anyway, unrelated to that. I just want to be able to go incognito. But for me, I guess I would just say you got to give the pig up or you got to move.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a pig if I was like if I had barely any property. Like I'd only have a pig if I had some land.
Yeah.
And I wasn't on top of my neighbors. Just so I wouldn't bug them. I'd feel bad if my pig was making so much noise.
My brother's got chickens, which is cool. What were we going to say, Jimmy?
Well, chickens are quiet. They're not like a pig squeal.
I was just going to say, I wouldn't have a pet pig personally in case it escaped. I wouldn't want to be contributing to the feral swine population that's taking over New Jersey.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, I'm looking right here on the Department of Agriculture's website right now, and as of 2010, we have a feral swine population from these escaped pigs.
Where, though?
I guess
what part of the state?
I don't know. All of New Jersey's highlighted on this distribution map. It looks like in the 80s, it started like in the southern part of the country, and then they've just kind of worked their way up north.
Oh, these are hogs we're talking about, right?
Yeah, but apparently it only takes like a few weeks for a pig to turn into like a feral swine.
Does every pig turn into a hog? Or is that like a separate type of pig? Serious question.
That's a great question. I have no idea.
Yeah, because I don't think any of us know that.
So here's some signs if you're looking at a hog versus a pig. Feral hogs root or dig in the ground to find food. Rooted areas can be extensive and cover several acres. So this is why in Texas, I mean, if you're like an animal lover, I doubt you're listening to this podcast, but in Texas, they have the people go around in helicopters and
they shoot them.
They shoot the feral hogs because they will just run through farmland and destroy crops. They're savages. And but this is interesting. I never knew we had a feral swine population in New Jersey. Yeah. It's something to consider.
I feel like I've never seen like a wild swine in New Jersey.
But also I don't think live in an area that's conducive to them either.
But Jim, like, come on, you're around the state a lot. Like, you would know.
I've heard of this happening, especially in South Jersey.
Well, here's a video in 2022, October 2022, pigs roaming free, creating havoc in Burlington County.
Yeah, South Jersey.
So there was a group of pigs, but that doesn't look like feral pigs. That just looks like somebody's pig got out.
Looks like a really cute little pig.
But if you look up feral swine, they look like beasts.
Little fun pig fact of the week, boys.
Yeah.
Specifically, a pig is a young swine that is not yet mature. But the term has come to be used for all wild or domestic swine. A hog is a swine weighing more than 120 pounds, but this term is also applied generally to all swine. So a hog is over 120.
So a hog. So
Well, can you buy a little baby pig and not have it grow? Is that a thing?
A teacup?
A teacup little kettle?
yeah, you could get the little stunted growth ones.
But that's kind of messed up, right? Don't they like do that in labs?
I have
Or is that like a natural like occurrence for a little baby pig? Because I wouldn't want to do that to a pig.
I mean, it's definitely like genetic engineering, I would imagine.
It's inbreeding.
No, we can't be doing that to animals.
But potbelly pigs, man, they're pretty cool.
I'd want a little swine, and if I had a plot of land, I would love to have a little pig, little Wilbur. Wilbur's the pig, right? In the movie.
Yeah, Wilbur.
What's that movie called?
Charlotte's Web.
Yeah.
Yes, so cute.
My neighbor has a dog named Wilbur. I like that name. All right. What do you guys say we get into some New Jersey news? The listeners they're sitting in their cars right now, slamming their head into their steering wheel, wondering why they're hearing about pigs.
Well, it's straight up New Jersey news. What are you guys talking about?
I agree, but I'm just saying there's somebody going like this onto their steering wheel.
I mean, hey, it's what the mailbag ordered. You call into the mailbag, we're going to talk about what you want to talk about.
That's a good point.
So call into the mailbag, seriously.
Before we get into the news, we want to remind you that we are recording our podcast live from Elizabeth, New Jersey at the Vintage City offices. We have been here for months now, just sitting in our studio. Josh, how does it feel each day to be in your Vintage City office studio?
I love it, and it smells really good.
It does smell good here. What is that?
It's like a luxury apartment smell. That's what it smells like.
You walk in and it just smells beautiful in the building.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a space where you can work, maybe you have a small business, maybe you work from home and you just need a space to get away and you need your own office space, you can reach out to the Vintage City offices. We are here in Vinty. That's the name of the building we're in. The number is 908-259-4488. Call or send them a text. Ask for a tour. Tell them you want to check out the space, see what's going on here. There's so many amenities. It's really beautiful. And as you come, make sure you stop by the Garden State studio. Take a selfie. If you do, tag us when you post it on Instagram. And yes, the Vintage City offices, we are very pleased with our residents here. It's been a great experience.
Guys, on February 24th, 2024, we are going to be doing the Polar Plunge in Seaside. Check it out. All money is going towards New Jersey Special Olympics. We're going to have a fun time. We're going to hang out, join our team, sign up right now. Price goes up after December 31st, so sign up now. It's $100 to plunge with us. It's going to be a great time. And like I said earlier, All proceeds go to Special Olympics, New Jersey. It's like the highlight of my year. So definitely consider joining our team. Link in the description of this podcast. Check it out. Back to the pod.
All right, so let's see what the news has for us this week. There's some good stories here, and this one's out of NJ.com. After many rumors, Raising Cane's is officially coming to New Jersey in 2024.
I won't believe it until it happens. Like I feel like we talked about this like 2 years ago.
Well, they're announcing locations now of where it's coming to New Jersey, so it looks like this is gonna happen.
Really?
It says the popular southern-based fast food eatery is bringing 7 locations to the Garden State, with 4 of them set to open in 2024. Here's everything to know about Raising Cane's in New Jersey. So the 4 locations are Burlington, far from us; Cherry Hill,
Far from us;
Deptford,
Far from us;
and Marlton.
Far from us.
They're all in the same area.
Yeah, so they're all in that general.
Why does South Jersey get these?
The chicken chain has locations planned, ready for this, for Glassboro, Lawnside, and New Brunswick. So New Brunswick's the closest one.
Yeah, cool.
New Brunswick's the closest we're going to get.
And they're doing that because Rutgers, I'd
Yeah,
imagine.
100%.
Construction for the Glassboro spot, located at the corner of Delsey and Donald Barger Boulevard, will begin in mid-2024. Lawside's construction will begin in the fall of 24, and New Brunswick's construction will begin in 2025. We don't know the addresses of any of these spots yet, but of the newer spots, the last 3. But you can look forward to having some new chicken in New Jersey, people. Jimmy's not excited.
Watch out, chicken fillet.
I went to one of these establishments for my first time this summer.
Jimmy, watch your words. They could sponsor this podcast. What were we going to say?
I just don't know if we need another fast food chicken establishment in New Jersey.
What's better, Chick-fil-A or
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raising Cane's better invite us out to the grand opening. That's all I want to say.
Have you ever had it, Josh?
Chick-fil-A to me, I haven't had Raising Cane's. Chick-fil-A to me is a safe fast food chicken option. That's why it's great. That's why it's well-rounded. It's not gonna, you don't leave feeling like a grease ball.
Yeah.
But then you go to KFC or Popeyes. The goal there is you want to just eat one of those boxes. They all got boxes.
Yeah, the boxes are great.
And you feel like you want to die after you eat them, but it's probably the most delicious food you've ever had in your life.
Yes.
I don't know where Raising Cane's maps on that description, but what would you say, Josh?
I had a few friends who had Raising Cane's in New York City this past year because they just started opening up in New York City too, and they weren't too excited about it. You know, it's pretty normal.
Okay.
No big deals. But I feel like there's some Raising Cane's heads out there, bro, who are just crazy about it. And like so many people are so hyped that Raising Cane's is coming to New Jersey. I don't really know why. Like you're right. We have KFC, Popeyes, Chick-fil-A. We have so many chicken options. Like what's another chick? Like what's the difference? What does Raising Cane's offer that Chick-fil-A doesn't? What's their specialty?
Well, you could say McDonald's, Burger King.
Yes, 100%.
They all sell a burger. What's this new spot offering? It's a new experience, maybe a better version, better take on what we've all had. You know what I will say I don't like, though, is hype around food. I hate it. I wish people would not hype up anything. I wish they'd be like, oh, yeah, it's a cool spot. Because people freak out when we talk about stuff like this, and it leaves me disappointed every time I eat any of these spots. Like, think about a food place that's been opened in the last decade where all of our friends have been excited and lined up. Can you think of anything, Josh?
For openings?
Yeah, like food openings in New Jersey.
I don't know about like grand openings, but what's that place that Chomik just went to the other day? He waited in line for the...
Oh, I went to Mav's Top Buns in Middleton.
Oh, that spot looked good.
Yeah, it's a brand new spot. You know, they started during the pandemic just making cinnamon buns, and they just got so popular with their pre-orders. They eventually opened a spot. They're only open on weekends now, and you have to pre-order. Pre-orders sell out within an hour, so that's why you have to line up early. So it's a very small business, family-owned, but insanely good cinnamon buns.
I guess for me, even the best food I've ever had, I wouldn't line up for. That's my issue. I'm not a foodie like that.
I'm the same way, like at a restaurant, even though I really like this restaurant, I want to be able to sit down and eat my food. I don't want to wait an hour just to sit down.
I would say 60% of it is the experience over the food. Like there's something about lining up. Like my friend Nathan, who told me about the Mav's Top Buns, he was like, Josh, you're going to line up for this place, and it's going to bring you back to Black Friday days when we used to line up for hours before it started. He's like, it's something about the hype.
See, there you go. Nate is a food hype man. That's the one that I would think of. When you talk about like food hype, he hypes every spot up that he loves.
Yeah.
He's a foodie.
It's about
when
the
I hear that, though,
experience,
to
though.
me,
It's not
like,
just about the food.
it bums me out because you're putting unrealistic expectation on the food. For me,
Well, what do you mean unrealistic expectations
like
of food?
for me, you can't hype up a chicken sandwich for like 12 weeks in advance and be like, guys, this is it. It's going to change your life. It's the best sandwich. And then I go and have it and I'm like, yeah, it's a sandwich. You know, like it's a chicken sandwich.
Yeah, food is food. But I think the experience is the biggest part.
Like the first time I used ChatGPT, that feeling, the first time I used it, was what I should feel with the way people hype up food. I used that, this is a random example, but I used that and it literally, I felt like the world changed in that 10 minutes I used it. I was like, the world will never be the same. This is the craziest thing. That feeling is the way people hype up food. And I go to a food spot, I'm like, this is just more food. It's just different food.
Yeah.
Look, we've had the best food to ever exist already. We live in America. You have endless food options. You've had the best.
Well, it's about the experience. That's why.
I guess. You know, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, like, for me, you hype up food and I show up and I'm just, for me, because it sets expectations so high and the experience never matches for me the hype in my child brain, which is how I think. And then I end up feeling like, who's, you know. So with Raising Cane's, I'm going to expect the food to be terrible and it'll be a great memory when I go.
So I just did some research and I was like, what's the biggest difference between Chick-fil-A and Raising Cane's? And this is what I got on the internet.
Peanut oil.
Both have different styles of chicken, with Chick-fil-A prioritizing flavor. Okay, get this? And Cane's prioritizing texture.
The crunch.
Cane's chicken is much crispier with seemingly higher quality chicken.
Huh.
So
What I will say is,
interesting.
I'm a texture food person
There you go.
more than a flavor.
It sounds like you got to go to Raising Cane's.
Like I don't like eating an orange because of the texture.
What?
Yeah, my wife.
But the flavor's so good.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm a texture person over a flavor guy.
Do you drink orange juice?
I love
So you don't
orange
drink
juice.
with pulp or no pulp?
I'll drink it with pulp.
But that's texture.
But like when you bite into an orange, here's literally every time I bite an orange, I think, when is this going to end? You just start chewing on it and you're like, what? It just takes a lot of chewing to get it.
It depends on the size of the orange. I get it. If it's a big slice, it's going to take longer.
But-
How about the little clementines? Those are like so good, and you can just swallow it.
I don't know what it is. I've never been an orange
So
person.
tasty.
I love the
Oranges.
smell of the taste, but the texture,
Just ain't there.
It just is like chewy. It's too much. So I'm excited. Now that you said that, I'm excited to try Raising Cane's. I want that
Yeah,
crunch.
man, I'm excited too. Let's
You
go to
bite the
grand
chicken, it
opening.
bites you back.
We'll be looking at the grand opening dates and let you guys know some more details as it comes closer. But that's pretty cool.
To close this out on chicken, I also tried Zaxby's and Jack's this year.
Where was that in Alabama?
Yes.
What's the other chicken spot we were supposed to get? Remember we did a story on it a year and a half ago?
In New Jersey?
Yeah.
Raising Cane's.
No.
There's another one?
Yeah. What's the other one? Jimmy, what was the story we did?
I don't know. I thought it was Raising Cane's, honestly.
No.
But
What's the southern spot? The
Bojangles?
Bojangles. What happened to that? Raising Cane's, Bojangles, all this hype. We did all these stories about these places coming to New Jersey, and finally we're hearing about Raising Cane's. But how about Bojangles? I wonder what happened with that thing.
They said in October they're taking another step towards opening.
So maybe we'll get that too this year. Keep an eye out for that.
So I do agree, though. We are getting a lot of chicken spots.
a lot of chicken.
Well, look at Chick-fil-A, dude. The lines are crazy.
Anytime I think about a food review,
This is the best one.
I think about this dude on YouTube trying Five Guys for the first time. You ever see this? Remember this?
You see the cheese is still attached to the foil as it's
Pause.
Ooh.
And every time he's like, he talks about the cheese being stuck to the foil. When I watch that for the first time, now every time I go to Five Guys, I'm always like, oh, the cheese is stuck to the foil.
I like when he
Dude,
goes.
it hits different.
You bite it, it bites you back.
Look at his face.
Oh man,
He gets so serious. He gets so
12
serious when you
million
watch.
views.
Five Guys burgers and fries. Oh my goodness, I got bacon just dropping out.
I want to, dude. Five Guys burgers are the truth. I want one right now.
Maybe this is
Damn. That bacon.
Legend.
we could probably cut that whole clip out.
I'm gonna keep that in now.
Oh man, that's how I'm gonna feel when I
I
go to
want a
Bojangles.
Five Guys burger right now, dude.
Yeah, Five Guys burgers.
I had In-N-Out like a few weeks ago. It doesn't do it. Five Guys is superior. So much better.
So back to the topic at hand with the
what were we talking
Raising
about?
Cane's.
Oh yeah, Raising Cane's.
I'm semi excited. I'll be cautiously excited.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I'm not buying into the hype, but we'll have to see what happens. It's coming to Jersey, and maybe we'll go with some listeners.
Do
try
a
some
quick
for the first time.
food review.
All right, moving on. New Jersey is proposing a congestion relief plan that will encourage motorists to drive on the shoulder of highways.
Because we don't have space in Jersey to expand our highways, so we're just going to turn the shoulders into lanes, right?
This is crazy, and I'll read the article and give my take on it, but this is crazy because we're running out of space, like you just said.
There's no room.
And we are fumbling to try to figure out new solutions. And again, I'm going to propose, at what point are we going to consider the double-decker parkway?
Jimmy, what were you going to say?
I was going to say that this is already in effect in some places. I drive on a road like this quite frequently.
Well, don't they also do this on like 78 or the Pulaski? Like going to New York, there's like the lights that turn the shoulders on and off.
Yep, it's not the Pulaski. It's the other bridge that, you're right, on 78.
Yeah, 78 does it.
And they do it by Trenton on, I think it's 29 there. And parts of Route 1 have this already, I think, too. So I guess they're expanding it. But it's a very strange feeling because I have been on one of these roads and there's a car broken down, and it's during the hours when you can drive on.
And it makes it even messier.
So it's a disaster because all of a sudden you're driving and there's a car stopped in the lane.
Okay, so let's pause for a second here because we could talk about the viability of driving on the shoulder. And I know you guys laughed, but what is the long-term plan here in New Jersey?
There really isn't. It's just going to be, in the long run, it's going to get so congested in the state, and eventually people are just going to be like, I'm leaving.
Well,
there's nothing they're going to do, Josh.
Think about right now, they're so stressed, they're going to go, you can drive on the shoulder, which is dangerous because shoulders are for emergency vehicles. That's why they're there. If an ambulance gets up, if you get an accident, an ambulance needs to get on the shoulder and get around cars. Great. Okay, good point. But what are we going to do let's see projected New Jersey population. Because what is it right now, do you think? Is it 9 million? So projected NJ population, so it's 9.6 million. Well, they're saying it's going to be 9.6 million by 2030. Okay. By 2050, what do you think it'll be? Take a guess.
12.7.
11.5.
Okay, this is some random article.
Like they're just are they actually projecting by 2050?
Well, you can model based on how many kids are being born. I mean, there's probably amazing data on it, but this is all projections. They can't see the future. By 2020, it was 9,088,000. By 2040, they're saying projected population is 9.4. This can't be right because that other site just said by 2030.
Well, I know also like people aren't having as many children like nationally anymore, I feel. Like I heard that
the
somewhere
numbers
recently.
are lower, yeah.
So the replacement rate isn't keeping up or
I'm
something?
not even thinking about kids. I'm thinking about mad people are moving to New Jersey.
Yeah. Well, I think realistically, when we're talking about transportation, they're going to have to invest more money in high-speed rail. I think that's where this will eventually all end up. But
give that at least 20 years to happen.
Oh my God, more than that.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think people would start going more to public transportation if our urban areas continue to develop. If Jersey City continues to develop.
Isn't that their goal? That's why they want to build all these like communities of like apartments. And just people could just jump onto a train, not drive around.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, you're going to get people like me and you who love driving. And we don't want to use public transportation.
So we're
going to get sick of it and we're going to leave the state.
I took a whole transportation planning class in college, and just Americans are so ingrained in the car culture from the time that they're born, right?
Mm-hmm.
All these young kids have these like toy cars growing up that they can drive in, right? So just the concept of driving is so ingrained in everyone from the moment they're born.
You know, it's funny because I talked to some people who just don't like driving though. And they're like, I'm just so used to taking Ubers and buses and trains. I'm like, do you realize the freedom you have
you go
behind the wheel of a car? And that's something that, you can't take away from me. I'm stuck now forever. I'm going to be driving my car till I die.
Yeah.
You can't get me on the public transportation wave. And I feel like there's so many people in New Jersey who are just like that.
I was talking with my coworkers the other day, and she grew up in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And she moved to New Jersey at some point in her life, and now she's married and has a kid and lives here. And she has never owned a car.
Yeah.
I was like, huh?
Mm-hmm. Does she own a car now that she lives in Jersey?
No. Nope.
How did she get around?
I do not know. I assume public transportation.
I mean, like, come on.
So
How are you gonna get to the food mart?
I will say that her husband does own a car, so there is a car in the family, but she does not personally own a car.
That makes sense. And her husband probably drives her everywhere. But still, like,
she has her license. She could drive the car, but
she just doesn't want to?
I think she does drive it, but she doesn't own one for herself.
Oh, but she drives, though.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. I was about to say, she doesn't drive at all? That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, being in Jersey, like, there's so many places you have to get around to and stuff that, like, you know, public transportation is not always going to get you around.
Yeah.
But, like, get me behind the wheel of a car, man. It's game over. You can go anywhere. The world is yours. So I think at some point, if it gets way too overpopulated, everyone's going to have to eventually leave. Like, I'll leave if it gets too crazy. Or at least go to West Jersey where it's not as populated as it is here in Union County, right?
I feel like some of those like smaller areas are even worse though, because they're like when
less roads.
Yeah. When it is a busy time of day or something, it's just a disaster because everyone's forced in one area.
Well, Josh, give us some more details on this story so we can hear what's going on.
All right. So I was doing some research on the birth rate. Sorry, I got really deep down a wormhole. So it says the Route 1 Congestion Relief Project, already operational along a section of the roadway in central Jersey, will be expanded next year. Drivers on the 2-mile stretch of Route 1 between Independence Way and Promenade Boulevard are currently allowed to use the shoulder of the road as a travel lane during morning and afternoon rush hours. Steve Shapiro, the New Jersey Department of Transportation press manager, said the DOT plans to expand the congestion relief project an additional 5 miles by next summer. We're always looking to see how we can make travel more efficient, how we can reduce congestion and keep traffic flowing. So this is an idea that we had that we can do without having to widen the roadway. He explained that Route 1 has many businesses along it, so widening the roadway would only be possible in some areas. But then there was some critique here. There's this woman, Tracy Noble. She's a spokesperson for AAA, the Trip Alliance, and she said there's safety concerns. We've got a speeding issue throughout the state. We know drivers in New Jersey are driving well above posted speed limits, not only on local roads, but also on busier highways, she said. She said even if someone is only going 10 miles an hour faster than the speed limit, when you think about crashing at that increased speed, your car has never been tested at those increased speeds, so it does come into play. I don't understand what she means by that. Your car's never been tested at crashing 10 miles over the speed limit? So Shapiro said the cost of the entire project will be around $6 million, which includes repaving sections of the shoulder, roadway, restripping and relocating raised pavement markers and reflectors in the surface of the roads to help delineate the lanes and installing cameras to monitor traffic. He said final design work will be completed this winter and construction will begin sometime in the spring. There's not a lot of work to do, but there's some that needs to happen, he said. So what do you guys think about this plan for New Jersey? Overall, I will say, when they tried a pilot program in 2017, he did say that during rush hour, they saw a 45% decrease in southbound traffic. So,
I mean, like,
it helped the traffic.
I say go for it. Like, there's nothing else you could do on Route 1. Like they said, you can't expand it because all the businesses, so might as well add this at least. Maybe it'll help a bit.
Yeah, but what?
Like, there's nothing else they're going to do, so why not?
The thing that I wonder about these like small areas that you're doing this in, these 2 mile stretches, does this create like a big bottleneck when you come to the end of the 2 miles? Like, does everyone have to merge then?
Could.
Probably. Yeah, that would be a good point. I genuinely don't know. I mean, again, this seems like a great short-term plan. It seems like a good Band-Aid. But I don't know what the long-term solution is to all this.
There really isn't on Route 1 unless you start taking land from the businesses to expand. Yeah. But even that's going to be very tricky.
Eminent domain.
Yep. Lots and lots of construction there and lots of work. How about we fix the flooding on Route 1 in Edison?
Well, that's another topic we're going to talk about later in this episode. But I will say, the one glimmer of hope I have in all this, I could see technology solving traffic. I could see AI solving traffic in the next 20 years.
With self-driving cars and stuff?
Yeah, with cars that can synchronize and
I feel like that's a 60-year plan at least. That's not 20 years.
Why do you think it's 60 years?
That's a lot to do right there, bro.
Well, traffic, do you guys ever see the video from like a helicopter of how traffic begins? One car slows down and then it's like traffic is made up. It's you know what I mean? I know this sounds like
but it's also
stupid, but traffic is a result of driver error. And usually that's why rubbernecking is the worst. You ever sit in like 20 minutes of traffic and you get to the front and you're like, there's a traffic. It's nothing even on this side. It's on the other side of the parkway, an accident. It's just idiots that slow down and they create this whole chain reaction that slows everybody else down. And you lay that out over 3 miles and it's like everybody's in traffic. I think we have the technology right now for cars to communicate with one another to maintain. Like if you could do a cruise control option where your car could be, like if there was a cruise control left lane, you hop in it and click on cruise control and all the cars in that lane are on a network. Like let's say there's a network lane we create. That could totally be done in the next 10 years. Why not?
I don't see that happening.
It's not going to happen, but it could happen.
There's so many cars who don't even have that technology that people are going to be riding for at least another 10 years. And there's always going to be rubberneckers.
That's why I said 20 years from now, every single car on the road will have technology in it. In 20 years, a Tesla will be a 25-year-old car.
That's crazy.
In 20 years' time, everybody will have the best technology in their car. So right now, I think Teslas can already sell auto drive. So if you put a lane on a highway and every car's a Tesla on auto drive, you're telling me that they can't figure out traffic?
Well, not every car is going to be that though.
I'm saying that's currently in 20 years, every car will have the technology a Tesla has right now. You don't think so? You don't think by 2044,
yeah, no, I agree.
Every car on the road will be able to self-drive?
Yeah, but are people going to be utilizing those features? There's still going to be people who drive like idiots.
Well, there always will be, but you don't think that if there is solid information that comes out and it becomes part of the conversation in our culture that, hey, self-driving is how we fix traffic. Like if the state of New Jersey did a campaign, self-drive, stay alive. I don't know. Like they always have these things. Like you don't think they could find a way to communicate that if you during rush hour, put your car in the self-driving mode, traffic will be eliminated. I think everybody would go, screw it. Yeah, I want to get home fast.
I agree, but I just think in Jersey, there's way too many cars that even if that was the technology, there's still too many people. There's still going to be traffic. That's my whole take on it.
If every car on the highway is going 40 miles an hour on the Garden State Parkway, why is there traffic? I'm not saying 40 miles per hour should be the speed limit, but if it's bumper to bumper and every car is going 40 miles an hour.
Think about how many people are entering the parkway every mile from every exit constantly. People come merging on, people getting off.
I do say what you're saying though.
I'm just saying because
I see it too. I just think there's no shot.
We mock the double-decker parkway thing I always joke about, but that's the only solution. You can't eminent domain people's houses along the Garden State Parkway. They're not going to do it. So it
would take years and years of legal.
It would either be you build a second level or technology has to sort this out. That's the only solution because otherwise you'll never be able to go anywhere. It's going to look like those cities in like India where you ever see like this or like
trains,
parts of China where it's just completely stacked.
Yeah.
And who wants to live there, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, and you're paying $15,000 a year in property taxes to live there. No one's going to want to do that. That's craziness. So I'm trying to be hopeful. That was the reason I said the self-driving thing. I'm trying to be optimistic for once in my life.
I think that's fine.
And I don't want a self-driving car. I want a gas-powered diesel. I want a diesel Ram 2500.
Well, like you said, like once Murphy bans like the sale of electric cars, we're going over the border and picking up our diesel-powered truck, and we're coming back to Jersey.
Wait, Murphy's banning the sale of electric-powered cars?
Sorry, gas-powered cars. Did I say electric? Yeah, gas-powered vehicles. Excuse me.
Fake news over here. Always coming from Murphy, man.
And Jimmy.
I will say the one critique I have of what I just said is I don't want a car that can be controlled by the grid.
yeah, that's why I said people, yes, to your point, yeah, like cars will have that technology. Will people utilize it? Will people want that? No.
Well, think about
there's so many people that are not going to want to do that.
I think
that was my argument.
I think in the next 20 years, though, I will also say I think car accidents will become very rare.
Yeah, right. No shot.
I think they will.
Nope.
Why not?
Because even though there's going to be like lane assist and people, not everyone's going to be self-driving. People are still going to be on their phones, and all it takes is one little swerve, and then boom, you're done. Especially on the highway.
I think it's getting way too good.
We'll see.
My mother-in-law drives a brand new Volvo. It brakes for you. If you're gonna rear end somebody, it just brakes for you, so you don't rear end them. So it's
crazy.
like it's gonna get so freakishly good that I think we'll see a lot less car accidents. I mean, they're gonna still, like you said, they'll always be there, but compared to 20 years ago, I mean, I think car accidents are gonna become. I could see by 2050, I could see a car accident being like a very, very weird oddity.
Jimmy, mark this so in 2050 I'll be able to clip this.
Got it.
Just want to get back to it. Yeah, thanks.
I want that follow up. All right, let's move on to the next story here. One New Jersey town is starting a new tradition this New Year's Eve by dropping a giant M&M at midnight.
Super epic. Jersey, we need our own traditions here. Let's just drop a giant M&M.
Yeah, this is out of Hackettstown.
And it's appropriate because that's where M&Ms are made.
Yes, M&Ms are made right here in the Garden State in Hackettstown. If you don't know Hackettstown, it's out Route 80. And they have this 40-inch M&M with 1,000 LEDs on it. And at 12 o'clock midnight, they are going to drop it like the New Year's ball. Guys, I say I'm done with New York City.
Yes.
It's time Jersey takes over.
Times Square, old news. It's all about Hackettstown.
They're saying Hackettstown is the Times Square of the future.
Do you think we should go?
It's like, check out the giant M&M.
I'm
going to go. We should go field reporting, Jim.
I was just going to say, I don't have any New Year's plans yet.
Let's go see the giant M&M.
My sister-in-law is going to be there if you guys would like to go.
Wait, she's going to the M&M drop?
She'll be there for the M&M drop.
You talked to her about this? That's awesome.
So I think you guys should go.
Dude, that'd be so funny.
Why are they calling it a lentil ball drop?
I don't know.
I mean, it looks amazing, guys. It's a giant red M&M. It's glowing.
It's really, it's a
drop.
glowing M&M.
I say you guys 100% go. Get a video.
Yeah.
Get it on our social media pages.
Yeah, immediately.
Because this could be the new wave.
Interview people.
I've been obsessed with M&Ms my whole life. I never knew that they were made here in Jersey.
Now you know.
I have like an addiction to M&Ms.
Really?
I'm more of a Skittles guy, but yeah, M&Ms are pretty good.
Yeah. I was doing well for a while, but then my aunt gave me a jar of M&Ms for Christmas, and I really I'm back on the
I was
back
say,
off the wagon.
I've never seen you eat an M&M.
I've been good. I've been good.
Off the wagon. That's a great way to say it. I mean, Jimmy, the M&M is good because it's the perfect balance of it's not too sweet. It's a good chocolatey treat, and the crunch, texture, that little texture of the shell.
Yep.
So,
but the problem is, it's very easy to just say like, "Oh, I'll have 10 more." And it's like I'll have another handful. It's like potato chips, really.
Yeah.
You ever eat a potato chip and an M&M, one bite?
No. Never.
Yo, try it.
It's good?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this article says the small Warren County town, Hackettstown, is putting a mouthwatering spin on the New York City Times Square ball drop. And this year's festivities should be the start of a yearly New Year's Eve tradition. The 40-inch lentil is made up of more than 1,000 LED lights that will put on a show for the transition into 2024. Starting at 11:59 p.m., the M&M will drop from an erect ladder truck at Route 46 and High Street. So they're dropping it from a fire truck?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Love it.
Even better.
Let's go, baby. This is great. Since M&Ms are made here in Hackettstown, Mars made this figure for us and donated it to the town for us to have on every New Year's Eve.
It's awesome.
Shout out to Mars for keeping small
awesome.
American tradition alive. That's a cool idea. So they've been pumping out M&Ms since 1958 in Hackettstown. Did you know that, Jimbo?
Did not.
You didn't know that? Wow. That's amazing to me. As a part of the Sunday night festivities, an M&M character will be on site to go along with the entertainment and giveaways, including, guess what? Candy.
M&Ms?
Yeah.
Yes. I think this is a really cool thing that Jersey's doing.
I'm just going to say, I think you guys need to go.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
I think you should go.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
Meet
awesome.
up with my sister-in-law. You guys can all hang out.
Which sister-in-law?
Shay.
Oh, yeah.
She'll be there.
Your only sister-in-law.
You guys could go check out the M&M drop and cheer it on.
Why is she going? Is she from does she know the area well? Or why? How did she know?
She's
about
not
this?
far from there.
So she just heard about it from the local chatter?
Yeah, she has some friends that live in town.
Wow.
Is she a big M&M fan?
I don't know if she's, for the M&Ms or against them, but I think she's for a good time. And this sounds like a good time to me.
I'm going to text her today.
Yeah, you should meet up with her and just get a video. I'm telling you, we put that on our Instagram before anybody. And it's game on.
Jimmy, they got that 6.5 inch.
Wait, 6.5 inch M&M?
No,
it's
40
inside.
inch, 40 inch.
Oh, you're talking about
Johnny Hamcheck.
Did you see that video of him yesterday where he walked in and the guy's like, "Are you Johnny?"
Yeah, the worker recognized him.
Yep.
He gets recognized everywhere now.
All right. So this next story is a heroic one. Well, not heroic. It's a hopeful one, I guess. A cat whose head was stuck in a jar for days was rescued in New Jersey this Christmas.
That's like a heartwarming Christmas story.
For real, this cat's life was just saved.
Yeah. So there's a man, John DeBecker. He's the vice president of the Long Island Cat/Kitten Solution, Inc.
What?
That's suspicious.
Amazing.
Long Island Cat Kitten Solution Inc., or as I like to call it, the LICKSI.
Wow.
Lick Solutions Inc. Wait a second. Do you think he did that on purpose? Long Island Cat Kitten. Lick Solution Inc.
Probably.
Wow. He posted a video on Facebook showing him rescuing the cat in Irvington on Christmas. In the video, DeBacker quickly snatches the cat near a fence in a yard before the feline could run away. He then places the cat in a carrier. He got it. Yes. Oh, that's great. A relieved onlooker says in the video. DeBacker said the cat had been running around Irvington for a few days with a jar on its head.
Wow.
I am happy to report that she has been safely captured and I have been able to remove the jar, DeBacker said on Facebook. So, guys, here's a hopeful Christmas story for you.
But, like, the cat was running around for days with a jar in his head. Do you think not one person saw this cat and thought, maybe I should stop this thing and rescue it? Or was he just so fast?
Listen, man.
That people couldn't catch it?
People in Jersey keep to themselves. They see something going on. They don't want to get involved.
They're like, that's kind of suspicious. I don't want to, step into that territory. I don't know what's going on there.
But shout out to the Long Island Cat Kitten Solution Inc., which is just the best business name ever.
Why are they in Irvington though if they're from Long Island?
They're just passing through.
He made a road call on Christmas Day to save this cat.
I mean, someone's got to do it.
Let's see what this website looks like. Long Island Cat Kitten
Inc.
Solution Inc.
Do they just rescue cats?
Cats and kittens.
Oh, it's Long Island Cat Kitten Solution, so it's licks. They go by licks.
Trap, neuter, return.
Wow.
It's for like wild cats or like street cats.
Well, Josh, tell us what their mission is.
So their mission, the Licks mission, they're dedicated to ending the overpopulation and suffering of unwanted cats and kittens by offering trap, spay / neuter, and return services to owned and community cats. So it sounds like they're going around and finding cats on the streets.
It's like feral cats?
Feral cats, and they're spaying them and neutering them so that they won't breed and continue to have kittens.
Got it.
They say there's been over 999,000. I'm sorry, 9,999 cats and kittens that have been spayed and neutered. So if you want to make a donation, this sounds like a noble cause for the Garden State.
What's their Instagram?
Their Instagram is LICAT. Long Island Cat Kitten Solution. LI Cat Kitten Solution.
Cool.
You can go find them. Give them a little
You
follow.
see the photo with the jar on his head, though? It's so, like, heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Their Instagram has a 4th of July cat with the Uncle Sam hat on his head.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's a great cause, and that's a great Christmas story.
Christmas miracle.
I think we should move on. At a New Jersey beach, mysterious airplane seats washed ashore after a historic swell this past week.
At least we think they're airplane seats. There's been a lot of arguing online about like what these things actually were.
No one knows what's actually going on with these. But if you saw the video we posted on our page, there was 4 seats that were all connected that washed up after that amazing amount of rain we got last week, which was crazy.
Biggest swell in like 30 years in Jersey, by the way.
Did you see the waves?
The waves were insane. The amount of like surfers, like the surf videos that came out of it, like every surfer in Jersey was like, I've never seen waves this big before in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Did you see that one kid who like fell off the top of that like 20-foot wave? Mm-hmm. He was on a surfboard. Insane.
Yep. It was a 20-foot wave?
Yeah, man.
So I always get this wrong. So waves are measured from the top of the water to the top of the wave.
Yep.
Okay, so 20 feet. From
Yeah, and you can actually see with the surfer, you got to think the surfer is 5 to 6 feet tall. Like, just take him, like, 4 times 4, you're probably at around 20 feet. That's how big the wave looks. The person looks tiny.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
So this was on December 18th. It says some locals are even calling it one of the biggest waves in Jersey history. So there are these massive waves smashing into the Jersey shore. And with all that activity in the ocean, previously unseen debris and clutter have come ashore. But how about this mysterious potential plane wreckage? Matthew Jacob was out checking the waves for good surfing conditions after a storm in Margate, New Jersey on December 19th when something caught his eye by the water, he tells People magazine. I wasn't sure what it was. I thought it was a tree branch at first. As I got closer, I realized that I was looking at seats. The closer I got, they appeared to be plane seats, says the actor who was soon to appear in Al Pacino's film Killing Castro, which is a fun tidbit.
Wait, the kid who filmed that video is an actor?
Yeah, he's an actor.
Oh, wow.
Matthew Jacob. Look him up right now. Let's see what he's been in. Matthew Jacob. Yeah, he's an actor. There you go.
Wow.
We should have him on the pod. After reading my comments on TikTok, I'm unsure what to believe anymore. It seems like everyone has a different story. I spoke to police officers when they picked up the seats. They were shocked. You can hear him in my TikTok video completely surprised. So there's all these theories. There's this one flight, and this is, to me, the most compelling. Did you guys read these comments, by the way?
All the comments, yeah.
Yeah, so the most compelling argument to me was TWA Flight 800. Did you hear about this one?
Was that the Malaysia flight? Or
No.
this is a different one?
TWA Flight 800 was a Boeing 747-100 that crashed into the Atlantic Ocean basically near New York in 1996. 230 people died.
That's horrible.
Which you would think this would be more significant news in our lifetime.
I guess we were just too young.
Yeah, like I was 4 years old.
I was 1.
But so some people think it's that, but others are saying, I saw one person said it's bus seats. Now, is this real, do you think, Josh?
I'm sorry, let me see it.
That's the picture of TWA. Is that a real photo of it?
No, that's a drawing.
No, it looks like, look at all these. Looks like a
Oh, wow.
do they have a video of TWA exploding?
No idea. That one photo you showed me looked real. I don't want to provide false information here on the pod.
I don't know. But yeah, so this plane crashed. Some people think it's that. Others said bus seats, but I've never seen a bus with seats that are 4 wide.
My theory on that was, those buses where it's not rows of seats, it's like
on the sides?
On the sides, the longer rows. That was my thought, how it could be a bus seat.
Or the back row of a bus, it could be.
Yeah.
Like NJ Transit, the back row.
That's
has
what I'm
like
thinking,
5 seats.
some of those NG Transits. So that's a possibility. Some people were saying it was Oceanic Flight 815. So if you want to look at that.
Scheduled flight from Sydney, Australia to Los Angeles. Would they come our way?
Yeah, where did it go down?
Why are you laughing?
It disappeared in the Pacific Ocean. Why are you laughing? Is this fake? Is this from a movie?
Is that Lost?
Oh my!
It's from the
Lost.
TV.
I was going to say, I was like, that sounds so familiar.
No, there was some comments, people saying
Bro,
that.
this is how.
I just wanted to see how long you guys went. You're like, what is this Oceanic Flight?
I love Lost, too. I don't know why they didn't hit me right away.
You know what I think it probably is? Boat. This is probably seats off a boat.
It could be a boat seat,
like
too.
a ferry boat.
It's possible.
Yes.
That makes more sense than a plane.
Did that just hit you now? Like, it might be a ferry? Or
Yeah,
yeah, it makes sense. It looks like it could be a ferry. Like, that's why, that video went so viral. It might be one of our most viewed videos on Instagram, but, all it could be is just, old boat seats. And boats submerge all the time. So, it's not that much of a shock. I think that just how it was, people were like, oh, it's a plane. Yeah. And automatically people were like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, who knows? I wonder what they're going to do with it.
Knows. And if you have any information on these seats, I'm surprised an engineer or manufacturer hasn't come along and been like, oh, I know what those seats are manufactured for.
They're probably in their house just laughing at all the comments, being like, these people are idiots.
True. All right, let's move on to our last story of this episode. This is very relevant with all the rain we've been getting in these past few weeks. The state of New Jersey is preparing to launch a new system that will alert prospective home buyers of homes flooding history.
But this wasn't a thing beforehand.
Well, the way it works now is, I mean, I haven't bought a home, but I've worked with a realtor to try to buy a home. You can look up on FEMA records to see if a house is in a flood zone. I don't know the disclosure on if a home is flooded. You may have to disclose. But what this is going to do is it's going to make it unbelievably obvious, the history of a home, because you're going to be forced to disclose the entire flood history. And there's going to be a registry online that you can look up a house very easily to see if it's in a flood zone.
Very good.
So it says this in the article. As New Jersey recovers from widespread flooding from the past week and braces for more rain in the forecast, the state is moving to protect home buyers and renters from damaged housing. The state will require new property disclosure forms that notify prospective buyers and tenants of a property's known flood history and potential flood risks. The Murphy administration will also create an online lookup tool that will identify whether a property is in a flood zone. The introduction of the new measure follow a law signed by Murphy over the summer that will go into effect in March. These new protections will enable prospective home buyers and renters to stay a step ahead when it comes to finding the safest residence possible for them and their families. A new report by Rutgers University found that approximately 630,000 properties in New Jersey are at risk of flooding at least once in the next 30 years.
Wow.
So flooding is a real issue for New Jersey.
Yes, it is.
I think the tool that they're going to make sounds like a great idea to be able to go online and just look up an address.
Yeah, bro. 100%.
Go type in,
This is awesome.
Type in your address and just see.
Yeah.
I mean, you can currently do that with flood zones, but the website I've used it doesn't work well. It's really not great.
So they're just going to make it so much easier for people.
You're going to find out
more
really
accessible.
easy. Yeah. I mean, I have no issue with transparency for people buying houses. I will say, I don't want to be, I hate always being critical. This is not a solution though.
Yeah, like my goal is honestly just buy a house on top of a hill so you don't have to deal with flooding.
That's true. So this article says it lays out a primer for local officials on creating more flood resiliency, such as rain gardens and pavement that absorbs water. So I want to know why local townships are. I mean, I grew up in a town where flooding was
bad,
pretty common because of the Rahway River, and it doesn't seem like it's getting better.
Yeah.
And I think I don't blame the state for this, but I blame the local municipality on the way they've developed the town. It's just not maintainable. Like it's not good.
Unless look after Irene, like so many homes in town raised their homes.
Yeah.
Because the flooding's been so bad.
Yeah, but also you think about, again, a lot of these towns used to have open green space and everything's becoming just pavement.
Yeah.
And if you put a massive building up, you're creating basically a water collection system that it's going to cover a square block and collect all the water and drain it down into and these towns just are not, I don't know if it's going to just take a while to develop the systems for draining the water effectively and efficiently, but these towns were not, the infrastructure was not in mind for 50 years. They didn't have the foresight to know how many people would live there. And I think that we need smarter planning for these cities.
Like, I think it's too late. Like, there's not, like, what are you going to do in a town like Cranford with the Rahway River just running right through it? Like, you can't stop Mother Nature.
They're going to have to find creative solutions for sure.
I mean,
the Rahway River rises so quickly.
I would raise my house if I was on that river immediately. And so many people have done that already. Like, now you could see, like, so many people did it after Irene, and then Ida comes 2 years ago. And we could get the same flooding as we did in Irene, and all those homes who were lifted, they were fine. So it's just like, you got to do, like, that's the only solution I see if you're living along a riverbed.
You ever watch them lift a house with the hydraulic presses?
Yes.
It's super cool.
Really cool stuff, yeah.
In Cape May, they take the 200-year-old houses and they just pump them up.
Is that what they're doing, then fixing the bases?
Yeah, because there's those old houses that are historic and they don't want to knock them down. So they lift the house.
It's amazing.
With a massive air compressor, and then they put those blocks under. It's really, really cool to watch.
Science.
I always wonder though how the house is intact afterwards and things don't crack, but I guess they've
all it takes is one little mistake.
Yeah, like a little movement, an inch from end to end, I'd imagine causes drywall to crack or plaster to crack. Yeah, so I think this is a good plan. I think we got to figure out something with all the flooding.
When does it go into effect?
They're saying,
when are they launching it?
They said it's going to go into effect in March.
Cool.
So if you're buying a house in the summer, you'll have plenty of info on flood zones and all that good stuff.
Like I said, Josh, if I could live on top of a hill with no neighbors in the middle of nowhere, that'd be amazing. Overlooking the city.
I will say I live. Jimmy, what's the ridge called? If you next to Route 22, that ridge of hills, is there a name for it? That goes
Watchung
from
Mountains?
Well, is that the Watchung Mountains?
Yeah.
That goes all the way up to Montclair, though. Is Montclair technically the Watchung Mountains?
Yeah, I think it kind of curves.
Because it goes through like West Orange and it keeps going up.
Yeah, I think it's like the first Watchung Ridge and then there's like a second Watchung Ridge. Yeah.
So I was going to say, I live on the Watchung Ridge. There is no flooding where I live.
Well, it's beautiful. Yeah.
And it makes sense
Top
why
of the
all
world
the
right there.
super wealthy people built these massive mansions on top of that ridge, because everything floods off into the middle class towns at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, all the water is coming down in Cranford.
Yeah, well, I mean, Cranford used to be, like a little middle class town, but it's like all the water on top of these. Okay, for example, was it Ida? You said 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
2 years ago, yeah, September 21.
When Ida hit,
September 22?
yeah,
No, 21. Sorry,
21. It was 21. When Ida hit, I remember driving through parts of Scotch Plains that were destroyed, parts of Plainfield, parts of Cranford. Remember, Cranford was demolished.
So bad.
Like this whole Union County area got hit so bad. And the town I'm in, up on top of the hill, that
You were
following
chilling.
day, it looked like nothing happened.
Yeah.
It was like nothing happened. It was just totally.
I remember you texted us. You're like, guys, like it looks great outside. What's going on in Cranford?
You sent me a video of like.
I was shooting the
swamp.
drone over the town and everything was just flooded.
So that's the story with the flood zones, and that also concludes our episode for this week. Any closing thoughts, Josh Chomick?
It's been a good year. 100% was, and I'm really looking forward to 2024 with you guys.
Whoa. Thanks. Jimmy?
I'm looking forward to go and see this Eminem drop.
You guys are going to go?
I don't know for sure, but it's an option. It's up there.
I was going to look up 2024 highlights. Like, what are some big things happening in 2024 as a culture that we just should know about?
I mean, like the presidential election is pretty big.
Oh, gosh.
It's an election year. So
I'm not ready for an election
Buckle your
year.
seatbelts. No, who knows what's going to happen in 2024? It's going to be a crazy one.
So we're having a total solar eclipse. You guys ready for it? It makes sense that it aligns. The apocalypse is going to align with a presidential election. But hey, with that, guys, thank you all for listening to The Garden State, not just for this week, but for the year. If you are a longtime listener, we are honored that this audience continues to grow and we continue to meet new people that love New Jersey like us. We hope you have a very happy and healthy new year. And we will see you all. I got to do it, guys. I got to do it. I'm a dad now.
Why?
We'll see you guys. How do people say it?
I'll see you guys next year.
See you next year.
See you next year. Man, I ruined my own dad joke. All right, we'll see you guys next year. Have a happy New Year's Eve. That's it.
See you guys next year.
Bye 2023. Hello 2024. Later.
Later.
You're listening to The Garden State. The Dirty Jers.